Hey, we're back for part 2 of our oven patina method, and in this part of the little series that we're doing, I'm going to show you how we take a piece that's come out of the oven and maybe doesn't quite look the way we want it to, or maybe we've let it set overnight to get the verdigris and there's just a little bit too much verdigris on there and we're not liking that. Got to buff it out, get it mellow, looking good so we could use it for a piece of jewelry. So hang in there with me and I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so now I have my one piece that I showed you in the last video. Kind of came out pretty good. There's not a lot that needs to be worked with this piece. But we want to kind of buff some highlights into it, get it looking a little bit better, just clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to start out with my big old nasty pink rag here. It's the thick stuff that you use to like clean your car. And I'm just going to buff this out. I'm just going to really put some elbow grease in there, and I'm going to just really buff on this. And you can see some highlights coming up. This will really clean it. Get it, you know, any extra grit off of there. And remember, you always got to do the back of the piece too. Both sides have to be treated. Okay, but you see how we're kind of getting a little bit of highlights up. On some pieces, this is all you're going to need to do, is just use this, and you'll be good. Now, you might even want to get a little bit more. You could use a greeny pad. Look at that. See how that lifted that up? Just takes that right off. I lifted that up. Isn't that pretty? See? You don't want to go hard with it because it's going to take it off. It takes it back to, you know, the way it was. But let's get a little bit more in there. Show the integrity of the piece. Isn't that pretty? Getting our highlights. Maybe I'm going to come around the edge too and remove a little bit so that I can get some really nice highlights in there. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied. That looks pretty even. Isn't that nice? Now we want to get it looking mellow, so I'm going to turn my Dremel on with my little muslin pad. And I'm just going to kind of go over. Now listen, when you use this Dremel, this piece is going to get hot, just as if you use a big buff wheel. You know, big commercial buff wheel. I have one under this table someplace. I don't use it too much anymore since I got my Dremel. Be careful. Hold on to the piece so it doesn't go skating out on you. If it's a little piece and it doesn't weigh much, it could skate out on you and flip up and fly in your face. So you got to be careful. But we're just kind of getting it mellow looking. Don't go too hard. It's not good for your Dremel. Just get it. See, it's starting to shine up. Isn't it pretty? If you stay in one area too long, not only do you run the risk of buffing it out too much, but it's going to get hot. And that's no good. See how this brings us up to a nice mellow shine. Gets any grit off of it. See, you get on the edges, want to get caught in it, not good. Be careful when you're using this tool. It looks like a little tiny baby girl, but it's not. It'll get you. If you're not careful, it's a power tool. It's just small. Okay, I'm going to shut that off. Now, I need to seal this piece, because I'm pretty content with that. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good. That's ready to be used in a piece of jewelry. So now I'm going to seal it with Renaissance wax, and you're going to see how I do that. Less is more with this product. You do not need to use a lot. Keep it away from your face. Don't be inhaling it. You're not going to like how you feel if you inhale it, believe me. Just a little bit. That's all you need. Then I put it over here because I don't want to smell it. It's a little bit petroleum-ish. Okay, now I'm going to rub this in. And it's going to give me this beautiful glow. And it totally seals this piece. So it's good to go. You're going to be able to use it. And it's going to stay looking just like this. Okay? The only way it's going to change is if you get your Dremel out after this gas is off and sits up and say, I want to take more off, or I want to do something else to it. But you got to get it front and back. Okay? Maybe a little bit along the edges. And you're good. And it's beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Don't you just love it? I do. Wow. But anyway, I'm going to put that back. And we're going to work on this piece, because this is nasty. Remember how we brought this piece in the first video to look like this? Well, I'm going to show you how. Okay. The first thing you do is find a piece where you haven't used Renaissance wax on this rag, or get another one. That would be better yet, but I have one right for now. And I'm going to just kind of go over this real good and hard. Lots of elbow grease. And just remove any salt residue or anything that's loose on it the best that I can. Front and back. Okay, got to get it all. Okay, now the best way for me to get this all off would be to use this wire wheel. But I'm wondering for time how I'm going to do changing with my Dremel. So I'm just going to use the buff for now. And I'm going to get in here and try and take some of this off. I don't know, maybe we'll stop the tape for a minute and I'll put the whisk on in this. Okay, we're back and we've got the little wire wheel on here. And this is what's going to take a lot of this crud out for us. Now we want to leave some because it's pretty. But you see how quick it'll take it out? So go easy with this wire wheel. It's just going to take it all off. And be careful, watch your fingers. Don't stay in one area too long. It'll get hot. Believe me, it'll burn you. So go easy. But see how nice it's coming up. I mean, it's definitely a good little tool. Just keep your fingers back the best you can. Okay, that looks pretty good because I want to leave some of it there. I don't want it all gone. I'm going to flip this over now. Now, I've got a bunching of cracks back here, and I don't really like how that looks. You're not going to be able to get it all off. But you get the worst of it. See? You get the worst of it. And you could do a little bit. See what I mean? Gotta watch. I hate to crack up to show you, but it could happen. Now maybe I'll take my little greenie pad and go over that and raise a few highlights. See? It's looking pretty good. And flip it over and do the same, just kind of with a circular motion. Raise a few highlights, maybe get in the middle there a little bit. I don't want to take all that verdigris off, though I like it. Don't you? I do. But isn't that looking great? Oh my goodness. I think that's ready to seal. So here we go again with the Renaissance wax. Just a little bit, less is more. And buff it out fast. Fast, fast, fast. Elbow grease. Get in there and go. And you've got to remember, back two. The back two. And I think that's pretty good. I might go back to this later, but for time, not bad, huh? What do you think? Now we've got this big ugly mess here. What are we going to do with this? I'd use the greenie pad first. Let's get some of it. Now don't get it all, because see you're raising back some of it to the raw brass. But just circular motion. We want some of that on there, you know. And I'm going to do the back too. See, the back is really plastered with it. I don't know about this one. We may have to just go for the look, you know. It's going to be sealed anyway, so it doesn't matter. If you like the old crud found item look, hey baby, this is it. You got it. Okay, quickly to the other side. I'm going to get the wire wheel and being careful. I'm turning it on. And I'm just kind of pressing down on this piece because it tends to arc a little bit. The piece arch, not arc. Arch. But look at that. Look at how gorgeous that's getting. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. That looks old as the hills. Of course, now you never want to do this and fake something to be old. That isn't. But the look is art, and art must go on. That's all I got to say about that. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, flip her over. Let's see what we can do about this. Now, you got to hold careful because this wants to arch up. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a lot of this off. It's probably going to be permanent, but that's okay. Not a bad thing, right? Not totally. I'm kind of liking it, actually, the more I do it. Okay, we're going to give the Dremel a rest because it's not liking it. It's fussing. But you see how it's coming? I'm going to finish out the front, and the back I'm going to have to do later because we're going to run out of time. But once again, Renaissance wax. And in I go. Rub, rub, rub. Isn't this beautiful? Now, what are you going to do with this, you might say? Well, I would probably take bail making pliers, which we carry on the site, and I would roll this, because this would make a totally awesome cuff. Like I say, I'm going to have to work more on this back later, but this would make a totally awesome cuff. Just start bending it even with your hands. Do you see what's going to happen? But the round pliers, not the round pliers, but the bail making pliers will make it easier. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I hope you'll try this soon. We have everything you need to do this at the website except the Dremel stylus. Go online. There are different places to carry them. Fits a woman's hand really nice. I can't recommend it enough. So give it a shot and let me know if you have any questions because, like I always say, that's why I'm here. I want to hear from you. Thanks a lot.